I'm Ashwini Karandikar, EVP of Media Technology and Data at the Forays. The Forays is the US's premium advocacy trade org for advertising agencies. Nielsen is a very large partner with the Forays, and I'm very glad that I had a chance to sit down and chat with Matt Devitt about Nielsen, its roadmap, product set, etc., etc. So let's get to it. Before I get to it, Matt, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Devitt, obviously with Nielsen. I look after our advertiser and agency business. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with Ashwini. The Forays is obviously a critical partner for us as we communicate, especially with the agency community. So just thrilled to be answering some questions with you.
Perfect. So first question, probably the most asked question in the last 6 odd months that we have been talking to you and with Nielsen about is the whole evolution of the big data addition to the currency.
Yep.
And so to us, Nielsen plus big data is a new form of currency.
Yep.
And so the question was, how is the product evolving? When can we use it?
Yeah, great. Yeah, so I think where I'll start is just how do we define currency? And so a currency is a data set that buyers and sellers choose to transact on. Nielsen just so happens to be providing a high quality data set that buyers and sellers choose to transact on. Historically, that has been a panel-based solution for linear television. This year, that is now panel plus big data sources for linear television. What we've found out as these currency conversations have continued to evolve is that as a philosophy, we are going to continue to use big data. We're going to use whatever the best data sets are that are out there, but everything needs to be calibrated back to a truth set, a panel. Big data sources are wonderful. They provide scale, but they are often biased. There's missing data, not often representative. And this just goes for any time working with big data and machine learning and AI. It has to be trained on something true, representative, calibrated. And that's why going forward, it will be panel plus big data for us. This year, that is linear, but that will continue to grow into live streaming. So big data, digital data sets, mobile data sets, bringing those in comparable to panels. And that's going to be, the fundamentals for that roadmap going forward.
Point that a lot of the upcoming alternative currencies or currency alternatives bring up is the ability to track advanced audiences. Mm-hmm. Where does Nielsen and or Nielsen plus big data, where do they stand?
We consider advanced audiences another big data set, right? So whether it is integrating with publishers to bring in data to represent media consumption for measurement, or if it is an audience data set, that is a big data set that needs to be brought into a measurement ecosystem to be calibrated against a truth set and represented in measurement. To more directly, I think, answer your question, advanced audiences are critical to the future of how we are developing things. It's what the advertisers and agencies want. It's what the sell side wants. Age gender will always have value in ad markets, especially when buying at scale, buying in bulk. Age gender is an audience definition that matters to all buyers and is a definition that matters. But increasingly with big data, there is a demand from the buy side, especially to represent audiences in a more advanced or high value way. So if that's the demand of our clients, we obviously need to support that. And therefore, it's a big part of our future, our roadmap.
The definition and how you're integrating it with the broader currency makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
There was some discussion and, I want to say noise and people are going to not like it, but about live sports and how you were tracking it and what was going to happen with Amazon and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Given the size and scale of what Nielsen measures and tracks and the currency that we use, how do you treat live events, especially now with Olympics and actually any football, any live event?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So I'll start with how we are measuring it today. And just to be clear, exclusively live streamed events like Thursday Night Football or the exclusive wildcard game on Peacock is being produced in Nielsen measurement comparable to linear today. That is what we used last year was a panel only product. But our goal and our aspiration, what we've been bringing solutions to the market about is a big data plus panel product. As I said at the beginning, big data sources, when they are vetted, when the processes can be MRC accredited, that is the philosophy we want to take forward with measurement, is use the big data sources that have value, but again, brought in, compared, calibrated to a truth set panel.
Yeah.
So that we can leverage the best of both worlds. And that is going to be our approach to live streaming. The big data plus panel philosophy is our commitment, whether that's live streamed events or that is audiences. It's bringing external data in, calibrated truth set, deduplicated, person level audience measurement that has vetted processes through the 4As, through the MRC, so that there's transparency to the industry.
Just based on this example, how would it work? Would Amazon now use Nielsen to track the NFL game that they show, or?
Yeah, so that's what we did this past year for Amazon for Thursday Night Football. Is we produced linear ratings for Amazon Thursday Night Football, an exclusively live stream event that is comparable to traditional linear television.
Wow.
So that required work on our side, on the Amazon side as well. And, it was the same thing with NBC Universal and the exclusively streamed live Peacock game for the NFL.
Yeah.
The buyers, the sell side as well, the leagues like the NFL, they want a accurate number. They want a comparable number. And historically, we've done that with a panel. But again, like our goal is especially in a streaming world where there is big data assets, to be able to bring in the best of those big data assets with our panel to produce comparable measurements. And that's how you start bringing streaming and linear together comparably.
I remember reading was it the initial copy or a version of the Gauge?
Yeah.
Nielsen's thought leadership piece.
Yeah.
What's the plan with it? What all are you going to put into it? Who's going to receive it?
Yeah.
Because I personally found it very interesting. Several people commented that finally there was this cool, future-forward-looking piece from Nielsen. So what's the plan with the Gauge?
Yeah, no, the Gauge has been very exciting, and the reaction to it's been very exciting. I think what's really interesting about it is that it's an expression of share. So share of time. There is only, as much as there's so much media being consumed, there are only 24 hours in the day. Nobody's going to invent more time in a day, right? So the fact that it's an expression of share, I think is actually one of the really compelling pieces of it. To start with, as you know, it's only persons 2+ total day.
Yeah.
So as we look ahead, just think about the kind of cuts that we'll be able to make for that. The most recent one was the media distribution gauge, which was an interesting evolution. But increasingly, as we think ahead, like Q3, Q4, we want to start producing advanced audience gauge reports.
Wow.
So the ability to express share of time spent with content, but by audiences, household income, buyers of certain products. Those are the kinds of ways that we're thinking about advanced audiences in the terms of something like the Gauge, share of time spent, right? And then you can think about different day parts. There's just, for data nerds like me, like the different cuts of data that you could think about for the Gauge going forward, especially as we start layering in big data, is actually pretty exciting.
It is exciting. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And I'm hoping I'm going to find Matt again in 3 months somewhere else. To ask the next set of questions.
Amazing.
Because there's so much happening that the more Nielsen shares, I think the better for the agency overall.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Ashwini, for the great questions. And it's been a pleasure to be here with all of you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.